everybody. Happy Monday, if days of the week are meaningful to you at all. Hi, let's double check, make sure this is, yep, that seems to be broadcasting on Instagram. That seems to be working on YouTube, so we're good. My name is Kushlani. Welcome to class. I welcome you to start in the seat today. We're going to start by trying to open up through the neck some. If you're like me and have been staring at your phone or your computer or just staring at the ground in disbelief a lot, you might be a little tight through here. So we're going to start. Got some music in here that I think is too loud. Sorry, everyone. Let me address that. Thanks. But if you're in a cross-legged seat, pay attention to which leg is in front because we're going to switch that out in a little bit here. Hero's pose is also okay if you prefer to be sort of not in that hip opening position. Let's go ahead and close down the eyes here and just take a few moments to come into your practice. Right? Of course, if you're practicing at home, distractions will come and they'll go, and that's fine and normal. But as you are able, try and turn your attention inward. With every inhale, you feel you're drawing in something that you need. With every exhale, you're letting go of something that you don't. Right, so keeping that attention on the breath, let's get into some movement, at least slow movement in the neck and shoulders. Let's bring the right arm out. Right? You can rest the hand on the earth if it reaches, or you can just outstretch it. I like the palm facing down, and I like to feel a little bit of external rotation in the shoulder, so the thumb might dial back a little bit, the whole shoulder sinks. Right? So then we'll bring the left ear toward the left shoulder. Maybe close down the eyes. Right, and notice with every inhale, you might feel a little opening across whatever tight spaces you breathe into. And with every exhale, maybe you can drag the shoulder away from the ear, feel that extension, maybe tip the chin down or gently, carefully up. Just find your sweet spot and breathe. 2 more breaths. Trying to slow the breaths here. Give yourself time to inhale and fill completely. And to exhale, drag the shoulders down and release. So bring the head back up to center. Make sure it's attached. Maybe give that right arm a shake. Other side. If you're sitting cross-legged, remember to switch the cross of your legs here. So palm might face up. You can extend that arm. Something exciting is going on outside. Remember, if you'd like, you can sort of dial that thumb back, externally rotating the shoulder and dragging it down. Right, then ear is going to come right ear toward right shoulder. You can close down the eyes if that suits you. Right, and the more you dial your chin, maybe toward the shoulder or away from the sternum, right? You're going to find your sweet spot. Right? Every inhale, you might feel that stretch across the back of the shoulder blade. And every exhale, maybe you can root that shoulder blade down and in. Let's take 2 more slow motion breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Once more. Drag that shoulder down. We'll bring the head back onto its, onto its center. And my knees are getting a little bit tight, so let's, maybe yours are as well. Let's come up into a tabletop position. Maybe just extend one set of toes back, downing the ball of the foot and extending through the heel. Right, to give yourself a little calf stretch there. And then the opposite side, down the toes, right, press through the heel. Just kind of awaken the legs again. And from here, we're going to take the left leg, and if this bothers your knee, you don't need to come into this pose. You can just stay in tabletop. But if it suits you, you might step that left leg out, right, and come into a little bit of a twist. So we're going to pour weight into the left hand, and again, if it doesn't bother the knee, we'll reach the arm up. Feel this twist through the spine and a little opening through that left groin. Exhale, release it down. Come back to that tabletop. Right, then we'll extend the right foot out, down the inside of the foot. Right, and we'll find that twist. We can ground down into, across the knuckles of the right hand. And inhale the left arm high, hug the belly up. And on an exhale, release. Other side, this time we're gonna come and thread the needle. Again, we're gonna try and open up through the neck and the shoulder here. So bear down into all 5 knuckles of the left hand. Right arm reaches up. See if you can sink the shoulder blade into its socket here. And then exhale, thread the needle, release the right temple. And maybe that's enough, right? You should be feeling a little stretch across the right shoulder head. And if you want more, fingertips tent on the left hand. They can walk forward. You might see if you can hug the ribs away from the compression of the right leg. On your next exhale, we'll plant the left palm again. Inhale the right fingertips high and release. Maybe roll that neck from side to side, just easily here. And then we'll thread the needle other side. Right palm gets super heavy here. Inhale the left fingertips high, hug the belly in, drag the shoulder down, and then thread that needle through. Fingertips reach all the way through. Release the shoulder, release the temple. Maybe that's enough, right? Maybe you tent the right fingertips, walk them out, but hug that right shoulder back. Maybe you're just trying to draw the ribs away from the compression of the left leg. On your next exhale, we'll drive the right palm down. Inhale the left arm high and release. On an inhale, let's come into cow pose, dropping the belly, dragging the sternum forward. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow. Drag the sternum forward, lift the tailbone. Exhale, cat. Chin to sternum, ribs hugging up and in. Come through 2 more. Right, well, 1 more cow. 1 more cat. And if you're ready to head to downward facing dog, you can go ahead and roll over the toes, press the hips up and back, and pedal out through the heels. See if you can pour weight evenly across all 10 knuckles of the hands here. Maybe send the pinkies pressing away from one another to try and load the shoulders, right, and get the weight out of the wrists. On an inhale, look forward. On an exhale, squat it back. Inhale, let's step to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. See if you can neutralize the spine in this half lift. Easy knees. Pubic bone is curling forward slightly. right? The ribs are tracking up. The arms can be easy. Maybe you're in a ragdoll here. Let's release into that fold. We'll lift all 10 toes, spread them wide, and then drive the knuckles into the mat. Bearing down into all 10 knuckles of the feet. Let's inhale, rise up. Palms might touch overhead, shoulders away from the ears here. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, find that neutral spine. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, rise up, driving the big toe mounds into the mat. Exhale, fold. Last time, halfway lift, neutral spine, shoulders hug back. Exhale and fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center, close down the eyes if it suits you. And bring your attention into the balls of the feet here. Maybe finding a little sway from side to side. And then finding some stillness. Right? Maybe lift the kneecaps so that the quads engage. Trying to just observe where the weight in the feet tends to live. Right? Drive the weight into all 5 knuckles of the toes. Keep some weight in the quads. Let's inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Sun salutation, A variation here. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders back, neutral spine. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back to your high plank. You'll lower the knees if that suits you. Exhale, just a shallow push-up. Inhale, let's come to cobra, dropping all the way down, lifting the chest. On an exhale, release. From here, we'll press back up through plank. Exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. So 5 breaths here in down dog. If that doesn't suit you, definitely feel free to drop to tabletop, find child's pose, something more suitable for your wrists, for your hips, for your feet, whatever. On an inhale, look forward. Exhale, squat it back. Inhale, step it forward. Find that neutral spine, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise up, strong legs. Exhale, fold forward. Strong quads, even here, drive the feet. Halfway lift, neutral spine, shoulders back. Exhale, plant. Step back. Here's that vinyasa if you want it. You might lower the knees. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift to your back bend. Exhale, up and back. Downward facing dog. So again, 5 breaths here. See if you can let go of all the tension in the back of the neck. The gaze here is maybe toward the toes, maybe the knees. But just try and leave the neck easy. Right, the chin's tracking toward the sternum gently. On an inhale, look forward. Exhale, squat it back. Belly is lifting as you step it to your half lift. Exhale and fold. This time, bend the knees, sweep the arms up. Finding kind of an upright chair here. So hips and shoulders are in alignment. You might weight the heels. Right, belly is tracking up and in. Holding for 2. Holding for 1. We'll inhale, rise up. Exhale and fold. We're coming through a couple of sun B variations. Halfway lift, neutral spine, shoulders back. Yep, plant the hands. Step back to your high plank and lower into push-up. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, up and back, downward facing. Turn the left toes, step the right. Inhale, rise up, warrior 1 or high crescent lunge. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back. We can lower down into full vinyasa here or meet in downward facing dog. This time, turn the right toes, step the left. Inhale, rise up, warrior one or high crescent if you want to dial the back heel up. Exhale, plant, step back. Here's the vinyasa if you choose. Inhaling up, exhaling up and back. Your version of downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling the heels. But see if you can let the back of the neck go. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, squat it back. Step to your half lift. Check in with the shoulders. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees. Sweep the arms up. We're finding that upright chair. Little curl of the pubic bone forward. Tailbone gets long. Now weight the heels here. Holding 3. Holding 2. Holding 1. Inhale, rise up. Strong legs as you fold. Halfway lift. Neutralize the spine. Exhale, vinyasa if you want it. We're meeting in downward facing dog. And we'll turn the left toes, step the right. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back. If you want, you can just switch out the feet by turning the right toes and stepping the left. All right, so here we turn the right toes, step the left, finding that warrior one. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. Yep, there's that vinyasa if you want it. Inhaling up, exhaling up and back. And finding, we're gonna find child's pose here. Again, you're gonna try and lengthen out through the upper shoulders and the neck here. So walk the left fingertips to the top right corner of your mat. Maybe rest the forehead right on the ground. And feel that twist. You can kick the hips out toward the left. Hug the ribs up and away from the left leg. And see if you can really lengthen out through the shoulder blade. On an inhale, come through center. And other side, we're going to kick the hips right. Reach the fingertips left. And here, you might find some traction underneath the right palm as the shoulder hugs backward. We'll come through center. On an inhale, we'll lift up to tabletop. Exhale, up and back. Downward facing dog. So from here, we're going to come through about a dozen standing postures. We'll hold each for about 5 breaths. So if anything feels weird or you don't want to hold anything that long, pop right out of it, choose something else, listen to your body as we go. So we'll start with the left leg moving, grounded, and the right leg moving all the way up. Right? See if you can keep the weight even in the hands. As you open the hip, drag the heel toward the seat. Right? Both hands are pressing. The gaze can be back at the foot that's grounded. On an inhale, let's re-extend, square the hip in its socket. Exhale, knee to nose, and work the foot between the hands. From here, you might down the back heel and track the feet a little bit if you want warrior one. Right? We're going to inhale, rise up. So, actually, let's go ahead and come into high crescent. The left heel will lift. You're really going to scissor the inner thighs, so that the hips are both pointed forward. right? And we're gonna come into a little bit of a shoulder opener. So open the arms out to a T, right? We're gonna bring we're gonna bring your left arm under the right, coming into an eagle arm. Yeah. If this is getting tired in your legs, that's all right. You can straighten right up out of that if it suits you. Yeah, but see in this eagle, if you can drag the shoulders down and just let the elbows reach away, right? You don't have to press them up. On an exhale, we'll release that bind. Inhale, rise up, I'm straightening both legs. And on an exhale, we're gonna fold forward carefully, right? Maybe a half pyramid is enough, right? Really drive into that front big toe. Keep a easy front knee. And just this half pyramid, see if you can lengthen out. Both legs are driving here. And from here, we're going to bend the knees and lower down all the way into a low lunge with that back knee down. So in this crescent moon, you can inhale, lift up. See if you can keep the hips lifting up so you're not just dumping forward. Right? But strong connections with the earth. You're still pressing under the big toe. Fingertips find the earth, sky rather. Shoulders hug down. One more inhale here. And on an exhale, we're going to plant the hands and press back to half splits. So, flexing the front toes firmly. You might feel as if you're dragging this heel back in your half splits. Right? Make sure you're not locking out the front knee. Neck is easy. On an inhale, we're going to rise all the way up to high crescent lunge. And then we'll open out to warrior two. We'll spend a few breaths here. So, in warrior two, the left leg is really driving. The right knee is tracking away. Right? The shoulders and the hips are aligned. If you feel like you're dumping all your weight forward, drag yourself back with your back fingertips. One more inhale here. And on an exhale, we're going to cartwheel the hands to frame the front foot. The back heel might lift. From here, simple twist or revolved side angle. Left hand plants, right hand lifts. See if you can breathe the ribs away from the compression of the right leg. Fingertips reach up, shoulder blade hugs down. On an exhale, gaze down. And on an inhale, rise up into five-pointed star. From here, toes in, heels out. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. See if you can find a neutral spine here. Maybe a little bend in the knees. Exhale and fold. Maybe interlace the hands behind the head. A little bit of traction there to lengthen out the cervical spine. If that doesn't feel good, don't weight the head, please. Whatever you've chosen here, keep the ribs tracking away from the legs. Right, you're still using the core. One more inhale. And on the exhale, we'll release. Inhale, halfway lift, neutralize the spine. Exhale the hands to the hips. Inhale, rise all the way up. We'll pivot to face that right leg once again. We're coming up into warrior one. This time we're going to twist our revolved side angle. So we're going to bring the left elbow around. And maybe find this prayer twist. Right, pubic bone is curling forward. That'll help neutralize the lumbar spine. One more inhale here. And on the exhale, we'll release it down. From here, step it back to high plank. We're gonna come through a vinyasa if you want it. Lowering down into that shallow push-up. Inhaling, upward facing. Exhaling, up and back. You can pedal out through the heels. I'm gonna check my technology here. Hello, hello, gang. All right, everything looks good. And now we're gonna come through some version of those postures on the other side. So we're gonna ground through the right foot this time. Inhale, left leg high. Try and keep the shoulders square here as you open the hips. That back knee dials up. And the back, or the grounded quad is driving. On an inhale, re-extend. Squeeze it in knee to nose. And we'll work the foot between the hands. From here, inhale up, warrior one, or high crescent, right? We're trying to press the hip points forward, right? The inner thighs are scissoring. We're gonna find that eagle variation by bringing the right arm under the left elbow, right? And the shoulders here can drag down the back. Elbows can press away. You don't have to kind of hike the elbows up here at all. That's not actually my preference. I like to drag the elbows out and press the shoulders down. One more inhale. On the exhale, carefully release. We'll straighten both legs. And we're going to find that half pyramid. Easy front knee, drive the big toe. Let's find a half pyramid where we're trying to draw the sternum way out of the hips. If it feels good to come a little deeper into a full pyramid, you certainly can. But we're trying to keep that big toe mound driving to support this fold. On an inhale, we'll lift up. And on an exhale, we're going to find revolved side angle. So the right arm is going to come down. The left arm will lift up. And we're in that extended side angle. Right hip point is dragging forward. Right? And as you gaze up at that top thumb, can you drag that shoulder away from your ear? One more inhale. On an exhale, release it down. And from here, we're going to lower the back knee. I don't think that transition is how we got here. But inhale, lift up. Find your crescent moon. Right? Try and keep the hips lifting. Right? So you're not just dumping all of your weight down. Right? Trying to stretch through the sternum and drag the shoulders down. On an inhale, we're going to plant the hands and find that half split. Real active front leg here. Right? You might lift the toes, drag the heel backward, and have a big bend in the knee. And just keep the ribs tracking away from that front leg. On an inhale, we're going to rise all the way up to high crescent. And we're going to open out to warrior two. Right? Trying to really send the fingertips to the ends of the earth and hug the shoulders down. The hips are opening here, but they're driving in toward the midline of the back body. From here, we're going to cartwheel the hands, and we're going to find that prayer twist. The back heel will lift. We're going to bring the elbow around that left leg. Right. Strong back quad, strong back ball of the foot will help power this twist. Right. See if you can drag the shoulders away from the ears even here. One more inhale. And on the exhale, carefully release it. And from here, we're gonna rise up and open into our 5-pointed star. Toes in, heels out. Lift that sternum, drag the shoulders down, and we'll fold. Bend deeply into the knees. Plant the right fingertips underneath the face. We're going to come into a twist here. So, lifting up. Right, the left fingertips are planted. The right fingertips are high. If you'd like, there's a half bind here. You can turn the thumb to face back and then follow that thumb down. You might find a little bit of an opening through the shoulder. When you're ready, you can release. We'll just switch it out here. Bearing weight across all 5 knuckles of the other hand. Inhaling the left arm high. Now the fingertips want the sky, the shoulder hugs down. If you'd like, you can turn the thumb to face behind you and follow the thumb down and find a bit of a shoulder opener. If that doesn't suit you, keep the fingertips dialing up, shoulder dragging back, and we'll release it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale the hands to the hips. We'll inhale to rise all the way up. We'll step it to the front of the mat. And from here, we're gonna come through a sun B variation. So bend the knees, sweep the arms up. Find that upright chair. Pubic bone is curling up, tailbone is long behind you. On an inhale, lift up. On an exhale, we'll fold. Halfway lift, shoulders back. Exhale, fold. From here, once more, inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold forward. Here's that sun B. We'll come through a vinyasa, exhaling down, inhaling up. Exhale up and back. We'll turn the left toes, step the right, headed to warrior 1 on the inhale. Exhale down. You can switch out the legs or come through a full vinyasa. I'm going to step my right foot back. The left leg comes forward. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale down. Step it back. We're meeting in downward facing dog. Up and back. Hips high, grounding down through all 10 knuckles of the hands. Shoulders easy. On an inhale, we're going to turn the left toes, step the right. On an inhale, rise up, warrior 1. On an exhale, open, warrior 2. From here, left fingertips come up and under. Dial the back heel up. So we're in warrior 1 or a high crescent lunge in eagle arms. Shoulders down, elbows opening out. Right. Inhaling and exhaling. On an inhale, we'll release. We'll drop back into our warrior 2. Reach the fingertips forward and reverse. Fingertips way back, shoulder hugging down. Right, if you turn the chin up, you might feel a little more stretch in the neck, but be careful. On an exhale, extended side angle. Elbow might be on the knee, right arm sweeps up and over. That's your left arm sweeps up and over. Right? Pubic bone is curling forward, back leg is driving. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, reverse. We'll revolve that side angle, cartwheel the hands, back heel lifts. Left hand plants, right arm reaches up. Right fingertips drive up, shoulder drives down. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, unwind, straighten both legs. Now we're heading to triangle pose. I like to straighten my, or close up my stance a little bit. Grab a hold of that left hip, kick it back. Right? The right fingertips are reaching out. Just find the front shin, maybe a little bend in the front knee. Keep the hand on this right hip. That's your left hip. And kind of draw that hip point up and open. Left fingertips reach for the sky. Feel the whole left ribs opening up. Right? The back leg has to drive to power this twist. On an exhale, gaze down. On an inhale, reverse. Hands to the hips. This time we're going to square the hips forward. Reach the left fingertips. We're going to revolve our triangle. Find the shin underneath the left hand. Right arm sweeps up. Right arm can stop at the low back if that feels better, or the fingertips can go all the way up. One more inhale. On an exhale, let's release it all the way down, this time to lizard lunge. Right? So we're bringing the hands inside the front foot, maybe pouring weight into the left hand, picking the torso up off of that shoulder a little bit, and then pressing out with the right hip. Now, even as that right hip opens, see if you can hug something in the upper glute back in toward the midline. One more inhale. On an exhale, we'll work that foot back to center. Lift the back knee. And from here, we're going to step it all the way up into a forward fold. On an inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to come through a couple of balancing postures starting on the left leg. Right? So first, we're going to come into tree pose. So maybe this is tree. Super strong left leg. Right knee kicks out. Right toes either anchor on the ground, below the knee, or somewhere above the knee. Yeah, inhale, maybe the arms come up. Shoulders down. Right, see if you can hug the shoulder blades in toward the midline, even as those fingertips reach way out. One more inhale, lift up. Exhale, drag that knee into the chest. We'll release it down. Give that left leg a shake. One more balancing pose on that side. So, strong left leg once again. This time we're going to come into a standing knee raise, or maybe you can grab that big toe and lift up. Yeah, so the hips are squared forward at the moment. All right, you're trying to hug the knee in, and then we're going to open out. All right, so we're trying to track the knee up toward the armpit. Maybe you can get a hold of the big toe and extend. Maybe you're just hugging in and opening out. Let's come back through center, squeeze it in. Let's extend. Maybe you can hang on to the hamstring for 3 breaths. Count of 3, count of 2, count of 1, release. Whew, shake that leg out. We'll bend the knees, sweep the arms up, find that chair. Mostly this is just an excuse for me to roll a little massage into that grounded leg. But anyway, here we are. Let's exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. If you'd like, you can stop in crow pose. Find some exciting inversion if you'd like. But we're just making our way to downward facing dog. However you see fit. We're going to come through some variation of those postures on the other side. We'll do them all. I just can't promise we'll necessarily do them in the exact same order. So, strong right leg. We'll inhale the left heel high. Stack the hips. Right, see if you can keep the hips, shoulders square here. On an inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Plant the hands. We're headed to high crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale, open warrior two. From here, back fingertips sweep under, back heel lifts, finding high crescent and eagle lungs. Remember, we're trying to drag the elbows out and drive by the elbows out and the shoulders down. See if you can bring some ease into the face. On an inhale, we'll open back up into warrior two. Reach it forward and reverse. Strong back leg here. And then we're headed to extended side angle. Left elbow to left knee, right arm sweeps up and over. So maybe you can keep this elbow kind of light. Maybe it's grounded. Whatever you've chosen is perfect. Right, on an exhale, gaze down. On an inhale, reverse. You can straighten the front knee if it wants to break. From here, we're going to cartwheel the hands to frame the front foot, revolved side angle. So right hand plants, left hand lifts. See if you can hug the right hip point toward the right elbow. Maybe the gaze is up at that top thumb. Find some ease in the face. On an exhale, release. And we're going to come all the way down into our lizard. I know I always our triangle poses. Don't worry, we'll get there. But see if you can press into that right palm. Right, so you're lifted up out of the shoulder a little bit rather than, dumping all over it. Then find something that feels good in this left hip. Maybe a little pressure with the elbow. Maybe you can come into the forearms. Right? Make sure the knee and the toes are tracking in the same direction. Let's take one more full breath here. Right? The hip is opening, but the glute is hugging a little bit in toward the midline. On your next inhale, back to center. Carefully ground those back toes, and we're going to stand up, right? And head toward triangle pose. So we've got the left leg forward, we're reaching, the right hips are dragging back. So find the shin. Maybe you keep the hand here, right on that back hip point, and you drag that hip up and open. Yeah, then maybe you follow the right fingertips up, and the whole right rib cage opens. Yeah, the front knee can be easy, but you don't have to put all of triangle pose into the hamstring. It's really a beautiful twist. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, reverse. We're headed to revolve triangle pose. So right fingertips, are gonna reach forward. We're leveling out the low back. Find the front shin. And then the left fingertips maybe stay at the low back. Maybe the shoulders stack. And the fingers reach. See if you can find ease in the muscles of the face. Fingertips reaching, shoulders hugging down. On an exhale, we'll unwind. And step it to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. And from here, rise up. Maybe the palms touch overhead. Exhale, hand through heart center. We're going to run through those balancing poses on the right leg. So, strong right leg. Let's start in tree. Maybe this is your tree, right? Left hip is open. Toes ground. Or find the shin. Or find the inner thigh. Avoid that knee joint. Yeah, we'll inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, open. So here in tree, we're driving the shoulders down, even as the fingertips reach out. Right? I like to think of the V of my shoulder blades pressing into the base of my spine to hold me up. I'm about to fall over here. I gotta release this, shake my right leg out. That's what happens when you talk too much when you're doing a balancing pose. You lose feeling in your leg. All right, one more. All right, let's come into that high knee raise, standing strong on the right leg. So left knee comes into the chest. We're trying to emphasize the compression in the hip flexor here. Right? Then we're gonna open up. If you've got a hold of the knee, it's tracking up toward the armpit. Right? There's external rotation in this hip. If you've got a hold of the toes, inner thigh is still tracking toward the ribs. On an inhale, come through center. On an exhale, maybe you can extend the heel and give yourself a hand for 3 and 2 and 1. Release. Shake it out. We'll bend the knees, sweep the arms up. I like a little one-legged chair so I can massage the top of my standing leg. I think it feels amazing. We'll let it go. All right, find your chair. And on one more inhale, we'll lift up, exhale and fold. Halfway lift. We're headed to a seat here, so if you want to come through a full vinyasa, feel free. Or make yourself comfy with the legs extended out in front. And we're going to come into Dandasana. So grab the flesh of the bum, and we're going to draw it north as the heels walk back. Yeah, it's tilting your hips forward, and hopefully taking some of the strain out of the end points of your hamstrings. Let's inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Right. Forward folds are not all about hamstrings, right? We can hug the core up firmly away from the legs. The shoulders can work, right? We can either allow them to just dump out of our shoulders or out of our necks like this, or we can dial them away from the ears, like so. Yeah. So one more inhale, one more exhale. We'll release. From here, let's bring the right leg into tree pose. If you have half lotus and that feels good in your hip, feel free. Right, but I'm going to come into tree pose here. So we can either emphasize the sort of twisting sensation as you get a hamstring stretch over the left leg, or you can sort of lean into the right hip opening here. So I like to inhale the right fingertips up high, shoulder away from the ears, please. Exhale, find that twist first. Send the fingertips out beyond the pinky toe, right? Maybe grab the pinky toe side of the foot or the outside of the front shin, right? And you're kind of drawing the sternum out past the front, the pinky toe side of the foot. You're also finding big external rotation in the right hip. So you could sit, if your hamstring is over it, sit up a little taller and just feel into this rotation of the whole hip turning out. We'll take one more inhale, one more exhale, and we'll lift up. And we're just going to switch out the legs. If you want a vinyasa, and feel free, right? I'm too tired, I'm not doing it. Right, but let's come into tree pose or Janu Shirsasana A with the right leg straight. Right, ball of the foot finding somewhere along the inside of the leg. Right, and again, we can really emphasize this reaching out of the, of the hip here, emphasizing that twist. So we can inhale the left arm high, reach it way out, like diagonally out past the pinky toe side of the foot, right? Big energy through. Did I say big energy? Whoa, I'm glad I left out one word from that weird internet phrase. Anyway, Janu Shirsasana A. Totally got myself flustered there. So weird, embarrassing. Let's lift up out of that. And we'll come through Vinyasa if you'd like, or come back through with the legs extended out in front. And from here, let's go ahead and you can either just come to a cross-legged seat, or if you'd like, you can come into butterfly pose. Right, but we're gonna do a little bit, here I'll get backwards. But we're gonna do a little bit of shoulder opening here. It might not feel great to be in this butterfly if you don't love it. So just cross the legs if you'd like. We're gonna inhale the arms up high. Right fingertips will come down. Right? Maybe that's enough. Right? If you'd like, you can turn the left thumb down. Yeah, and then you're gonna rotate that whole shoulder down, right? It's rotating forward. And maybe that allows you to find this Gomukhasana bind. Right? That's a real deep stretch. And if you don't properly internally rotate that front shoulder, you're gonna feel strain across the rotator cuff, and that's just like not acceptable, right? So shoulders are dragging down. Maybe this is as far as you're getting here. That's fine. Maybe you're hanging onto the tank top or something, right? We're gonna release that bottom hand, carefully rotate that shoulder to unwind, lift up, and then other side. Yeah, we're gonna bring the left fingertips down, that elbow tracks up. Yeah, and then the other hand, thumb faces down. We're gonna rotate that shoulder forward, follow the thumb around, and maybe you find that bind. Maybe you're down here. No problem. Right? But just keep the shoulder blades hugging in toward the midline. And keep all the strain out of the rotator cuff. Let's release. Bring the arms out to the front. If you're still sitting cross-legged or in butterfly pose, if you're in butterfly, come on out. If you're seated with the legs crossed, switch the cross of your legs. On an inhale, let's lift up. On an exhale, just fold forward. Right, you can come into the forearms. You can get a deeper stretch if you want to reach out. You might even drop the elbows and give yourself a little bit of massage. You can bring the base of the squishy parts of the thumbs to the forehead. Don't put your eyes out, please. That'd be real weird. Right? But you can allow the brow bone to sort of rest against this nice squishy part of the thumbs. Right? It's definitely above the eyes, so don't do anything real weird. Let's take 2 more deep breaths wherever you've chosen to be. Exhaling completely. 1 more full breath in. 1 more full breath out. Go ahead and close down the eyes here if it suits you. You'll come back up through center and trying to use as little energy as possible. Just find a Shavasana. Extend the legs out and just roll down. It doesn't have to be perfect. Allow the toes to splay out. We'll start in this Shavasana by just checking in with the muscles of the face. Allow the eyes to be heavy in their sockets, the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth. Right, the muscles around the jaw find ease. And perhaps you can observe without judgment any tension that lingers behind the heels or the knees or the hips. And allow the earth to carry that weight, maybe even let that pass. You might observe without judging anything in the shoulders or the forearms that you can release or find the support of the earth for. The fingertips curl without effort. You might even feel the energy of a practice pulling in the cradles of your palms, as if you were holding 2 stars with no energy, with no effort at all. Know that that energy will come with you for whatever it is that you or someone else might need. If you have time for a longer Shavasana, I welcome you to stay exactly where you are, breathing in, breathing out, and just observing the body. If you're ready to close class, you might bring the hands to heart center to seal in your practice. I bring my thumbs to my third eye. Thank y'all so much for sharing this hour with me. Thanks, y'all. See y'all later.